Well, good morning, Christian brothers and sisters, patriots, Americans. How you doing? My goodness, I have no idea where to start. So much going on, and it's hard to keep up with all this stuff now. We can quickly start by last night's opening ceremonies for the Olympics. As the French in the opening Olympics ceremonies, they decided to use drag queens to mock the Last Supper of Jesus Christ. They also used three drag queens to simulate a disgusting threesome. And this is why I haven't watched the Olympics in decades, because if you remember the one in China, before we hit COVID, I believe it was China. If you remember all the hospital beds and all the zombies right before COVID happened, like I said, these people always tell you in advance what they're going to do. Whether it's through opening ceremonies, TV shows, Hollywood. You could go on and on and on about it. Now, Joe Biden's speech the other night, which you might as well call his farewell address. And it could be more ways than one, because I still think they're going to use the 25th on him pretty soon. One of the things I noticed right away is, for a guy who was sick and in bed with COVID, he was awfully tanned. In fact, he was borderline orange, like they accused Donald Trump of. And if you're looking closely, did they spray him with a tan to avoid the bruise he had under his chin? Did you notice how his hands were a little darker than his face? Did they go to his house in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, and smack him around a little? Because they say, you don't leave, we're going to get you. We'll get Jill. We'll get Hunter. I'm sure there was some type of deal made to protect him and his family as he's going out and let him finish his term. But, as I say, they're going to let him finish his term because they're going to use him one more time. I'm telling you, it's going to be a terrorist attack. Whether it's a manufactured one by our own government or outside country hacking our stuff. As CrowdStrike now warns us, the hackers are threatening to leak sensitive information about their adversaries, which goes to ask, was that really just an update they gave that shut the whole world down, or were they hacked as well? Don't forget, this is the same company that Hillary Clinton hired to find out who hacked her DNC computers, which in itself might have been an inside job for one of our adversaries. Who knows? This is a big mess. As they desperately try to promote Kamala up, it is not working. Now, people say, well, she's raised something like $200 million in a few hours. Okay, let's bring this down to reality. That was money that was held the night of the debate with Biden and Trump. And I'm sure the donors went to the DNCs. You better get rid of this guy. You're not getting a single penny from us. So all that money from that day until Biden announced resignation was pretty much just given over to Kamala, because you know the laws. And speaking of the laws, the FEC yesterday said that what they're doing was not really legal until a Democratic lawmaker shut them up. This is what we're dealing with here. Democracy does not exist, even though we're a republic, in the Democrat Party. This is the same party that stole the nomination from Bernie Sanders in 2016, stole it again in 2020, and now then did a cool job to get Joe Biden in office, did another cool job to get him out of office, and now they're going to use it to put their person in office. And I don't think it's going to be Kamala Harris either. Kamala Harris is so unliked, so unpopular. No one likes her. She can't speak. She has no charisma. And this is what you get when you put someone in power like this who's been sleeping her way to the top the whole life. She does not know how to work. Everything's been given to her. And I know Obama endorsed her, and I wonder if that phone call was an AI generated, like the one Joe Biden did to endorse Kamala Harris. Because if you remember, Kamala Harris says, "Thank you for joining us this phone call." Sounded like she was about to say recording. But now that media is definitely trying to come up saying she was never the border czar, when All the networks said that she was the border czar. Joe Biden called her the border czar and gave her the title as the border czar. She accepted the role as the border czar. And then made herself look stupid in front of Lester Holt of MSNBC when he says, he asked her, but you've never been down the border. I said, well, I've never been to Europe either. And meanwhile, out in California, Kamala Harris's home state, due to the Supreme Court ruling the fact that Kamala Harris is from California, Gavin Newsom, who I think also wants a part in this, who wants to be a VP, whether it's with Kamala or the replacement for Kamala, or maybe sneaking as president, because don't forget who backs her. It is the Pelosi's. It's going to be some shit show in 23 days. He's now cleaning up his state of all the homeless camps, because he's saying the Supreme Court told him he had to do his cruel and unusual punishment. Well, no kidding, but let's face it, you're doing it because Harris is running. It makes your state look bad, even though it's never concerned you before. Here's a pretty cheap picture of a photo of him trying to clean up one of the embankment homeless camps. And he's also sent out memos asking city mayors to step up arresting criminals. In fact, I think he wrote a letter to the Oakland officials saying, you need to start doing high-speed pursuits again to get these criminals. Now, is this to help Kamala? Is this to help his own legacy because he wants to be a VP or a president? Who knows? But meanwhile, you know the Obamas, even though this is where was their girl and they can control her, and she is, let's face it, a DEI hire, the Obamas want to be in control. They see everything falling apart. And even though Kamala Harris would do everything, she would do everything they would tell her to do, they don't trust her. And they don't like her. And let's face it, she can't speak. So I guess I'm saying, Big Mike, a.k.a. Michelle Obama, is one better bullpen. And so the Clintons, because the Clintons, they have a lot more to hide than anyone else probably. And they want to be in control of their own destiny. And that includes fighting off the Pelosi's and the Obamas. And let's face it, Hillary Clinton is probably one of Satan's mistresses herself. So expect a three-way battle royal, a four-way battle royal, really, at the convention since Biden's now dropped out. I'm telling you, they're going to use Biden for a terrorist attack. They may use the border as it, and may get rid of Kamala also. Don't be surprised. I wouldn't put it past these people. Rush Limbaugh said years ago, there'll become a day where the Democrats don't even want elections no more. And they stole it from Bernie twice. They stole the election from Trump. They gave it to Biden. And now they just ousted out Biden. So let's not fool ourselves here. Man, there was just so much going on. It is hard to keep up. As the stock market booms, as I try to brag about that, even though it was a bit of a volatile week, food and gas prices are still high. Inflation is still high. As they try to sell you the economy is improving, which everyone knows is not the case. They're talking about doing a federal rate cut in September. That could make things a lot worse. And, it is going to be one heck of a next 300 days. We're now exactly 100 days till the election, 79 days till the inauguration, and the first 100 days in office of Trump. Now, a lot of people say this race is going to be close. No, it's not going to be close. The only reason why it would be close is because they're going to try to cheat, but there's only so far they can cheat. They cannot convince that Kamala is the person for the job. They're trying to say she was never the border czar. She didn't say 18 to 24-year-olds were dumb. Maybe we can go down the line here of all the ridiculous stuff she has said. So keep the country in prayer. Jesus Christ is still king. God's in control. Keep Donald Trump in prayer for protection, as well as J.D. Vance, and we'll talk to you later.